The supporting cast just came up big in Game 1 against the Philadelphia 76ers, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel from Knicks Digest. Game 1 is in the books. The Knicks took that W by the score of 111 to 104. And let's get into the reason why. So personally, I think one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason, the Knicks were able to get this W was undoubtedly the supporting cast. And I'm going straight to my man, the Deuce is loose. Deuce ending the game with 21 points, shooting 7 of 12 from the field and 5 of 7 from three-point land, converting both of his free throws. And if you've been watching the videos that I've been putting out, especially the one that came out earlier today, one of the biggest things that I was going to keep my eyes on during this series is the supporting cast. And I was specifically talking about Deuce. Deuce tonight, to me, has shown why Coach Tibbs has put all of his trust in him. From the beginning of the season up until now, the transition, the growth of Deuce McBride, I don't know if I've ever seen this type of growth from a player before. Deuce right now, whenever he's on the court, he is playing as if he belongs on the court, which us as Knicks fans, we 100% need that. Especially, I'm sorry to do this, Knicks fans, but like I keep saying in all my videos, I am a realist. I'm going to critique as fairly as I can. And our boy, our guy, Jalen Brunson, even though he finished the game with 22 points, he did not have a good game at all. Throughout the whole game, he was struggling. It looks like the Philadelphia 76ers, their defensive plan is just to keep as many bodies on him as possible. Jalen Brunson tonight finished 8 of 26 from the field, not great. 1 of 6 from three-point land, not great. Converting 5 of his 6 free throws, so that's pretty good. Ending the game with 7 rebounds and 7 assists. But Jalen Brunson straight up, if we're going to win this series, Brunson cannot have another one of these games. Brunson has to be a lot more efficient in this game and for the rest of the playoff series. And I hate to say it, but Shannon Sharp about a week ago went on First Take saying that Jalen Brunson is not an efficient player. And I went and I put out a video and I was saying how much of a blasphemous take that was. But if we're just picking one game, and if we're picking this game, Shannon Sharp actually has a point. But I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to go crazy. It's game 1, and most of game 1s in the playoffs is a feel-out game. Granted, this is a big W. This is a great win. So moving forward, we have a lot to build on. Josh Hart is another player that came up big, 22 points, 5 of 12 from the field, 4 of 8 from three-point land. And if you look at those numbers as far as field goals and field goal attempts, they're not going to pop out at you. But out of the 4 3-point field goal attempts, some of them were crucial, absolutely crucial when we needed it the most, and Josh Hart came up big, grabbing 13 rebounds, having 2 assists. Josh Hart, time and time again, I've always said that he's the heart and soul of this team. He's the guy that's going to do the dirty work, and you always need one of those players on the team. Now, since I talked about the Knicks, the one thing that really popped out to me, I'm going to get into the Joel Embiid aspect of the game, and as far as moving forward in the series. But one thing that's absolutely going to give us a ton of trouble moving forward is the play of Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is a handful. He was able to get to the paint whenever he wanted, and whenever he did get into the paint, all he had to do was that 1-2 Euro step, and he had an easy bunny at the rim. Tyrese Maxey, if he's smart and if he knows what he's doing, he knows that he's going to have advantage over everybody who's guarding him. That's including Brunson. That's including Deuce. I even saw OG Anunoby being put on a point guard, and at the time, Kyle Lowry was the point guard because I think Maxey was on the bench. So they put OG Anunoby on Lowry. But if the Knicks put OG on Maxey, I think that's the move moving forward. And if we're talking about being able to adapt, this is something I'm looking at Coach Tibbs. We're going to need to stop Maxey from here on out. We cannot wait for Maxey to have one of those big games in the playoffs where then you see the momentum switch, and then the Philadelphia 76ers, they're going to have momentum moving forward in the series. Coach Tibbs, if you go to the film and you watch tonight's game, one of, if not the biggest thing that you're going to be able to take away is that Maxey was able to do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, and we need to put an end to that right away as soon as possible. So my suggestion, what I would like to see OG being put on Maxey from the get. I'm talking about from the rip. Game 2, I'm talking about from opening tip. I think I need to see OG Anunoby on Maxey. because Joel Embiid is not healthy. We obviously saw that in tonight's game. He's not healthy. He's very flimsy. He's very timid going into the rim. And if Embiid is not healthy, their second best player on the team is unquestionably Tyrese Maxey. So if we're able to shut him down and be not healthy and Maxey being able to shut him down, then I think the path getting past the first round against his Philadelphia 76ers is going to be a lot more easier. As far as right now, in this moment, after seeing how much of a grueling game 1 was, I 100% believe that this series is going to go 7 games. This series is going to go 7 games, and of course, I'm taking Knicks in 7. And going back to the supporting cast that I was talking about a little earlier, Chris and I, probably from like the trade deadline on, one of the major things that we focused on is what is Coach Tibbs' playoff rotation going to look like? How many players and what players exactly are going to be a part of the playoff rotation? Well, as of today, at the end of game 1, the playoff rotation is literally 8 players. We got the starting 5, which is Brunson, Hart, Dante, Isaiah, and OG. And then the 3 players that Coach Tibbs used tonight, we had Deuce, we had Bogey, and we had Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is still coming back from his injury, and tonight he had a really good game for Mitchell Robinson standards. Mitchell Robinson ended the game with 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field. He actually converted both of his free throws, and it was at a really crucial point of the game where I believe we might have been up by 4 or 3 or 5. And if Mitchell Robinson was able to hit one of his free throws, it would have put a little bit of a cushion in between us and the Philadelphia 76ers. But he hit both of his free throws when it mattered the most. That was a great sign to see. He ended the game with 12 rebounds and 1 assist. So we're looking at 8 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist. But as far as Mitchell Robinson, we're obviously going to need him because we just need these big bodies just to disrupt whatever Joel Embiid is doing. We just need to make him feel a little bit uncomfortable, which, in my opinion, we did an okay job. I still think we can do a little bit better of a job of making him feel uncomfortable. But the one thing that I saw from Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson tonight that I really loved and I need to keep seeing throughout the rest of this series is how they're not falling from the pump fake. Joel Embiid, one of the main things that he's known for is giving that pump fake 2 or 3 times and drawing the foul and making the refs call the foul. Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson, time and time again, I saw them just stay on the floor, put their hands up, and just contest the shot. They need to keep playing this way for the rest of the series, and they're going to make it really difficult for Joel Embiid moving forward. Deuce, I talked about Deuce in the beginning of this video. Bogey had a really good game tonight. 13 points, 4 of 12 from the field, 3 of 6 from three-point land, 50% right there, converting 2 of his 4 free throws. He grabbed 7 rebounds and 1 assist. I just liked how I saw Bogey be aggressive and taking his shots when available. And it was reported maybe 2 or 3 days ago that he went through a small little wrist surgery where he got it scoped out, he got it cleaned up. And going into the playoff series, we didn't know exactly how Bogey was going to look like. But based off of game 1, I liked what I saw. I saw him be aggressive. I saw him take the shots when they were there, when they were available. And that's just the Bogey that we need moving forward. Whenever the shots are there, he needs to take the shots because he's known as a deadly, maybe not deadly, but he's known as a respectable 3-point shooter. So if he's out on the floor and if he's not taking shots, then what is he out there for? Okay, now that I talked about Maxey, now that I talked about the Knicks supporting cast, now that I talked about Brunson needing to be better, Deuce McBride coming up big, we need to talk about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, we need to take advantage of this as much as possible. It is obvious that he is not even close to 100%. Prior to the injury, I guess if you want to call it, in game 1, I would say he was probably maybe about like 70-75%. And then he just had this ridiculous throw it off the glass, and I believe he dunked on OG and Anunoby. That was a crazy look, first and foremost. But then when he landed from that play itself, you can see that he was obviously in pain. And I'm sorry to say this, I don't want this to come off wrong or any way because I don't want to see anybody hurt. But when we saw him go down, we saw that he was in agonizing pain. We weren't really expecting him to come back, and I think that's one of, if not the biggest reason why the 76ers were able to start off the second half so strong. We kind of let our guard down, and we let the 76ers come back into the game, which we absolutely cannot do moving forward. All I'm saying is that as long as we have Joel Embiid within this window of just playing around 50-60%, we need to take advantages as much as we can, because if the series prolongs, if it goes to a game 7, unfortunately, which I think it will, and Joel Embiid doesn't have any more hiccups, he's just going to get stronger. He's just going to get more confident. He's going to get more confident with his knee, with his touches. The longer this series goes, the more opportunity Joel Embiid is going to have to get back into the groove of things. And if Joel Embiid is close to 100%, it's just going to be even that much more harder, man. But all in all, I am super excited for the way we finished game one, the supporting cast, the way Josh Hart really came up big with the plays going down the stretch, Mitchell Robinson with those free throws, Bogey playing as well as he did. The only thing moving forward, well, actually two things moving forward, again, is Tyrese Maxey. We need to shut him down as soon as possible. We cannot let him have another big game like he did tonight. And Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, we absolutely need to have him to get him going. He cannot have another game like this moving forward in this series. If he has another game like this, I don't know how much we can depend on the supporting cast. Deuce, Bogey, Mitch, they had great game ones. But Deuce and Bogey, specifically them two, are we confident that they're going to be able to play like this 3 out of the 7 games, 2 out of the 7 games? So Jalen Brunson, you are our Knick. You are the best player on the team right now. You have New York support. You know what you need to do moving forward in this series. But again, all in all, game one, we got the W, and that's what counts. As long as we got the W and we started off on a good foot, that's all I can ask for. But guys, that's it for today's video. I want to say thank you for checking it out. Game one is in the books. We got the W. We are up 1-0. We need 3 more wins to move on to the next round. We won tonight, 111 to 104. Jalen Brunson, game one, maybe had some game one jitters. We don't know exactly, but I'm fully confident that Jalen Brunson is going to come back with a vengeance, and we're going to see the Jalen Brunson that we're used to. But until next time, guys, you know the drill. You know the vibes. Taj Gibson for president. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. And the more and more I see Deuce playing the way he's playing, he's just making me look good. The Deuce is loose for co-MVP, and I'm out. Peace.